very little about Rakai before I came here.
The need of Rakai community is immense. Rakai General Hospital provides service to approximately 250,000 individuals every year. The hospital is too small to serve a large number of population.
So this is something that we could very easily take care of, but not with the supplies that we currently have.
Operation International Team Chicago. This is our first mission altogether as a team.
Team Chicago is the fourth team Operation International brings to the hospital here.
There's a significant lack of any resources, especially surgical resources. And we plan to do 100 or so operations in 1 week's time.
Okay, pulse ox, EKG.
When I arrived at this hospital, my immediate thought was, this isn't a hospital, this is just a building with 4 walls.
This place needs help, but with the supplies that we have here, you have to make the best of it.
And just being open-minded and taking it a day or a minute at a time, because really, I don't know what I'm going to encounter until I do have that patient in front of me.
After we set up the hospital, then we proceeded down to the clinic. I had prior knowledge that there were going to be a lot of patients coming to see me. I didn't know what that meant. And we ran out of operative space very early, and I tried to gracefully bow out and saying we're full, but they kept coming and coming and coming, so we had to make space and find space. I can excise all this. Hi, my name is Jason.
This is 1 year history of being bugged by acid.
Oh. How can you look somebody in the eye who needs it, and you know if you don't give it to them, they're not ever going to get it? There's not another plastic surgeon coming next week. It's either you or nobody, and that's a heavy burden to bear.
I'm an anesthesiologist, but also an intensivist, where I'm very familiar with leading code situations and resuscitations. But to then have to also add in a lot of thought process of like, but wait, what drugs do I have available? What are the devices that I have available? What do we have the capability to do?
How did she get burned?
Mona was playing with a friend, and they found a bottle of cleaning chemicals to play with. The bottle came open, and Mona drank it, and it poured all over her. She started screaming, so I rushed out and started washing her with water, and her skin turned black. I took her to the hospital in Kampala, but the procedure was too expensive, so we could not do it.
We weren't successful in starting surgery today because we could not get anesthesia. If she'll allow us, we would like to try and raise that money for her so she can get the treatment.
I am very thankful. With this money, I can take my baby back to Kampala for this operation.
You just need to relax, keep your shoulders down, chin down.
It's hard to compare with home because there's a lot of resources at home that make things go smoother, faster.
These people had been waiting so long. A lot of them are really sad stories, and medical missions can actually make a change in their life.
There's so many things that could be done for these people if they had services available to them.
I mean, if the electricity goes out, we're kind of screwed again.
I don't see goiters that big in the United States or hernias that big, because once they develop, they get treatment. But here, there's no treatment, so they can last 20 years waiting for treatment, 30 years waiting for treatment. So they are allowed to grow that big because of lack of treatment.
You want to do that? Okay.
Here is the burn, and that's causing a scar contracture where the small finger is becoming abducted away from the hand, causing some hand dysfunction or limitations in his range of motion. So today we're going to release this scar contracture, and maybe we can re-centralize his finger so he could get better use of his hand.
I'm a door-to-door preacher. I'm also Ivan's adoptive mother. One day about 4 years ago, when I was preaching, I came to a house and saw this little boy, Ivan. He was very emaciated and had many burn wounds. It appeared his burns came from being burned with a hot iron, not just on his hand, but all over his body. I took the boy out of this environment of neglect, and I've taken care of him ever since. He was only 8 months old when I rescued him. He's now a happy and thriving 5-year-old boy. I am so thankful to Operation International for taking care of him and fixing the burns on his hand.
In America, we're all used to having a higher standard of living, and people will start to complain about the hospital food wasn't warm enough or the bed's too cold, little things like that. And these people here are just grateful that they can get medical care. Even if they don't speak English, pretty much every single one of them will look at us and just say thank you over and over.
It makes you want to come back and do more.
Because we can see the hospital and the conditions here, but then if you realize they live in a house with a dirt floor and windows but no electricity, no running water, it helps you to realize how they're so appreciative, because they come to this facility which has a cement instead of a tin roof. There's running water even though it's intermittent, and there's electricity even though it cuts out. This is luxury compared to what they're living in. But despite the lack of other resources, they tend to focus on what they do have, and I think it helps to realize that just because they're poor, it doesn't mean they're not happy.